Alright, hang on for a couple seconds. I'm doing some last minute stuff. And this is going good. Now I should close this too. Twitch is being a little slow again tonight. In the meantime, I'm trying to hurry up and get the bootleg cookie going because tonight's live stream is going to be longer and it's going to be in 2 parts. So I'm going to be online while I draw the bootleg cookie. Then I am going to shut down the live stream for a couple minutes while I set up the other live stream for the Inktober part. What's the name of this one? Okay. We're almost there. I was almost a little too late. The reason I'm so last minute is because we had a very late supper. But I still managed to be here for about 7. I don't have a tea, I have a Pepsi. So of course we're probably going to be all gassy again today. This one. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna put this here. Everybody's online. Good, 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 good. Oh, I forgot to turn on my restream. Enable the timers. I'm gonna open this one a little larger. I'll check the sound real quick. Okay, sounds good. Come on. Alright, alright, alright. So welcome to today's live stream. As I mentioned earlier, it's going to be a 2-parter. Usually the bootleg cookie part should be around 1 hour. Then after that I will temporarily cut the live stream for a couple minutes and then switch to my desktop, my actual desktop, not my digital desktop, so we can get on with today's Inktober piece. And because the first part is on OBS, we're actually going to have the Ko-fi link and the chat on screen. There's a certain way to stream to OBS using the phone, but I have to download a something there. And anyway, let's get the show on the road. And as previously promised, quote unquote, is going to be another Mammy story. I'm going to be writing them until I run out, which should be soon enough. I don't have that good a memory. Ah! Coco is on. Hello, Coco. That is my friend Ember. And her... there it is. Her little comment just showed up because there's a delay. I believe... yep, she's watching me from YouTube. Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty bubbly. I don't even need to hum, but I told her that I hum while I work. And because I can't hear the music, I hum whatever I like. The reason I don't put the music is I don't want a reverb thing going on, because my microphone is right next to the music source. Anyway, let's go. Where's my script? Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. But it's gonna happen again. And Davis is on. Hello, Davis. I was almost late because we have visitors today, and usually I'm late because of visitors, but I have way too much to do tonight. So I had to leave them there. Thankfully, I have other family members, so they'll entertain him. I can sing good songs. I just don't feel like it. We're changing her haircut because she's working. And knowing Mammy, she probably wanted a more utilitarian hairstyle while working. I think you can already tell at this point that this guy is not real good at making decisions. No idea if that's what he looks like. They're in big eyebrows because I feel like it. At the time, she did not actually. She was shaped exactly like my Aunt Lisa. And my Aunt Lisa is shaped like my sister Rox. So yeah. And my booty actually comes more from my mom. As we get older, we get more booty. So by the time Mammy was pretty much advanced in her age, she had the big old caboose. But at the time of this comic, she did not. I know I sound really distracted. It's because they're talking a little bit about me upstairs and I can hear it. Vector for vector lines, raster for raster lines. And for the record, what I am doing right now, that really happened. So basically, you'll understand a little bit better once I add the text. But I'm not exaggerating anything right here. Go, little sippy sippy. Not even sure Pappy got to fondle the booty, honestly. And this is why consent is important. Because if you don't have consent, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Sorry for all the blurb. Well, he did have 3 daughters, so he must have been allowed at some point. And then again, if anything, I'm being nice because I only draw him doing a little pap, but apparently it was a spank. Like a good old pow! Either way, even a gentle flutter would have warranted his punishment. Hang on, I gotta go do something real quick. Johnny, Rosie! The joke was very important. I didn't make you guys wait too long, didn't I? Yeah, get used to that. The humming and the burping. A lot of both are gonna happen. We are crystal gems, we'll always save the day. And if you think we can't, we'll always find a way. That's what the people of this world believe in. Conan, Amethyst, and Pearl, and Steven. I like that show. I admit I kind of skipped the townie episodes, but not the gym episodes. And for the record, apparently this guy, this is actually what he looked like. This is the owner of the restaurant my mammy used to work at. It's probably dead now, but... Everybody's still going good? Yeah! I literally have him in the script as Bald Stromboli guy. Well, they're in a good mood upstairs. Oh, Coco is making strawberry hibiscus snob water. Lucky! I didn't even have time to make myself some snob water. Proof I have Pepsi with me. Usually Pepsi is for meals. Or when I'm at a con for energy. So yeah. I'm gonna be pretty gassy. Plus I'm staying much longer than usual because once this is over, I'm switching to the phone to get the Inktober art done. If I have the energy, but the way I feel, I'm pretty sure I have the energy. You know what? Those giant eyebrows were a good decision. You know what I was doing earlier today while working on the new shirt? I was watching a list of retired, or at least somewhere semi-retired, but mostly retired Sesame Street puppets. And because obviously it's been a while since I watched Sesame Street, I was unpleasantly surprised to learn that Sherlock Hemlock was retired. Oh, Kitty just joined us. Hello, Kitty. That is my favorite pun. And Sherlock Hemlock was actually one I actually remembered. And like I said, it's not like I regularly watch the show nowadays. That part is also a true story. We did have Sesame Street. The thing is, when I was like at the age to watch Sesame Street, let me just get a sip. We had 4 channels. Seriously. We had Channel 3, which was English Radio Canada. channel 7. Wait, first it was channel 6 for Radio Québec, channel 7 for TVA Show TV, and channel 9 for Radio Canada in French. And Radio Canada in English is where I was able to watch Sesame Street, and also Mr. Dress Up, which is our Mr. Rogers, and both the actors worked together on a previous children's show in the States. Yeah, I should probably add the text, make sure everything fits. Oh, wrong font. So if there is a French-Canadian version of Sesame Street, I have no idea, because I used to watch it in English. And I clearly remember that was at 11 o'clock, because at 12 that was the news, and that's when I finished my little bowl of tomato soup. Hey, tête de cochon. Bon. There. Now it's gonna stay at the right font. And yeah, that's exactly what the guy said. We did have a localized version of Sesame Street, actually. Because, if I remember well, we had a segment, if not the entire show, called Sesame Park, which had Louis, Basil, and Dodie. French-Canadian Muppets, just for us. Well, French-Canadian. I should just say Canadian, because only Louis was French-Canadian. He was some kind of an otter thing. Kind of like a very basic Timon. And he would teach French, because he was French-Canadian. Basil was the main Canadian Muppet. He was a bear with a blue nose, and Dodie was a female pilot. She was a green Muppet with gray hair and a pilot suit. Yeah, but you didn't know, I mean... It's normal. I like to teach about my childhood because it's so far away. Heck, I recently had to Google Louis because I couldn't remember his name at all. It was gone. I thought Dodie was Jody, but I had Basil right. So, you know, it's not that bad. I don't remember, however, if we had a localized theme song. I think the only difference is that ours ended with Sesame Park instead of Sesame Street. But we still had Oscar, we still had Big Bird. The actors were the same. The human adult actors, because I can't remember the kids at all. Does anybody have a favorite Sesame Street Muppet? And yes, Kermit counts because he was on the Muppets for a long while. Sunny days picking up. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Park? Oh, the Count's a good one too. I'd say he's my second favorite. Is he, like, even for a vampire, he's like super nice and gentle. But I would say my very favorite is Grover. Not was, is. I guess I have a preference for gentler personality Muppets. Like, the Count is low energy, and depending on the situation, Grover can go from normal to high energy. But they're both, like, really nice. Nowadays, it's true. We get older and we understand Oscar more, you know. Oh, the Count was totally the shit. Because most vampires are blah, I am the night, and he's like, one good day, ha ha ha. How many bubbles in my bath? Let's count. 1 bubble. 2 bubbles. 3 bubbles. Ha ha ha. burnt that one for a while. And here's the fun part. Kermit actually was a better vampire than the Count in a way. Because there's this clip that you can find pretty much everywhere of Kermit with vampire teeth actually biting Vincent Price in the neck. Oops. Going back. Boink. Here's the thing though. I used to watch Mr. Dress Up religiously. Can't remember the name of a single puppet. I think, because I remember seeing both series, as in, there's a series with the original puppets, and the little boy and the dog, and I think the boy was called Casey, and that's all I remember. And then there was the second series because something about the actress, the voice actress, and probably the puppeteer being the same person, leaving the show for Casey and Finnegan. That's the name of the dog. Okay, Casey and Finnegan. And the second series, there was like this little crow boy and this little pink monster girl. Can't remember their name at all. Oh yeah, there was a grandma too. Can't remember their name at all. But here's the thing. First of all, when Casey and Finnegan moved out, I think they claimed they went to school. They kept the house they lived in the decor. And if that wasn't creepy enough, they never used it, but they kept it there. But it was empty and abandoned. It was a little tree house, of course, to hide the puppeteer. But not happy with that. Inside the house, there was this frame with an owl in it. Oh, Danielle just joined us. Hello, Danielle. Well, yeah, if you had a bowl of hot steaming soup dropped on your crotch on purpose, you would also have big eyes and a small mouth. There was a frame in the house with an owl. And whoop. when Casey and Finnegan were on the show, that frame would open its eyes and talk with Casey. And it was also there when Casey and Finnegan left. But it died, quote unquote, because that owl never moved again. It never opened his eyes to talk ever again. And because it's part of the decor, it's literally in the little piece of wall in between the tickle trunk and the crafts table. Mr. Dressup would walk by it every single episode. And to me, it was basically walking next to a corpse. So yeah, it was weird. So one thing I really liked about Mr. Dressup is that he was an artist. Like I assume Mr. Rogers also drew on this show. But Mr. Dressup really made it a point. Like, he had a drawing desk, and he would slowly show you how to draw things like houses and people. And he also had a craft table, so he would teach you about different crafts. How to build puppets, of course. Well, not as fancy as Casey and Finnegan, but puppets made out of paper bags and stuff like that. That was cool. So yeah, you could say, as a kid, Mr. Dressup had a big influence on me. He was big on drawing, I'm big on drawing. He also liked to do crafts, I like to do crafts. And also there's a tickle trunk. Of course, a tickle trunk is basically a big costume trunk that every time you would open, it had a little jingle. And then, of course, he would dress up with whatever costume was in it. And then they had a little sketch. It was fun. And I like dressing up too, so. Because obviously, you can't be somebody named Mr. Dressup and not dress up. But to me, what stuck to me was the drawing table and the craft table. So yeah, because cable didn't exist at the time, I had no contact with Mr. Rogers at all. I have no nostalgia for the man. But I do have nostalgia for Mr. Dressup. Sadly, Ernie Coombs passed away a long time ago. But as far as I know, Fred Penners is still alive. And he's still singing. And I think he's in his 70s. I mean, that's dedication. Fred Penners was another show that I used to watch. And they once had a crossover, so that was pretty cool. Fred Penners, basically... Fred Penner's Secret Corner, I think it was called. His big thing was singing. He would crawl onto the set through a log to go to his hidden corner. And we were all there. And then he would start singing. And that was pretty cool. It'd be funnier if I do this. Yeah, it is. As far as French shows, I'd say Henri Dess et Albert Levert was pretty much the French Fred Penner. Penners. It was basically Henri Dess singing, and a guy literally manipulating a green sock with ping pong balls, which was Albert Levert, Albert the Worm. He was an earworm. Get it? Which is true, because if there's one song I remember of Henri Days, is this one. Dis papa, dis-moi, dis-moi, comment c'est fait dans les fusées. Dis papa, dis-moi, dis-moi, comment c'est fait dans les fusées. C'est pas compliqué, je vais tout expliquer. C'est le petit zinzin qui passe par ici et qui va toucher le petit machin. Et le petit machin qui repasse par là et qui va toucher le petit zinzin. Ah bon? And it goes on like that until he gets to the question. The kid asks, how do you make babies? And then he stops. And he goes, it's not complicated, I'll tell you. And then he just mumbles the words to the song. It's the same words, c'est le petit zinzin qui passe par ici and all that, but he mumbles it. It's funny. I used to watch a shit ton of TV. I'm surprised I had time for anything else. Speaking of time for anything else, as soon as I'm done here, I think I'll do the usual pre-uploads tomorrow. Because once I'm done with the second live stream, then I don't think I'll have the energy to do what I usually do after a stream. But I wake up pretty early anyway, so y'all won't miss much on Patreon. Sorry. Oops. I forgot to unround the corners. I love the Victory Razor. Nobody's giving me the art I should have. Good news though, most good cartoons still had their normal intro. Like we did have the English Disney afternoon, because by that time we had basic cable and I was able to reach the channel. But we also had some of the Disney afternoon cartoons in French. I don't remember if we had Aladdin, but we definitely had DuckTales and the Rescue Rangers. They didn't change the intros at all. Obviously they translated them in French, but they kept the actual music. In French, Uncle Scrooge has a totally original name. He's not named Ebenezer Scrooge after the Lewis Carroll story. His name is in French is Picsou, which is basically steel coin. And if I'm not mistaken, Glumgold in French is Gripsou, which means cheap. And there's a third duck who grew up in money, and he has like a lot of feathers on his cheeks, and he's younger than the Glumgold and Scrooge. I can't remember his name in English, but his French name is Flairceau, which is sniff coin. For some reason in French, all the rich ducks have a penny name or coin name, or coin pun I should say, in their names. Which is still more creative than the nephews' names. Oh yeah, Disney Afternoon was the best. Come home and watch the entire lineup as best I could, because Mom wanted me to do my homework at the same time. I'm trying, but you won't let me because you keep closing the TV, and if the TV is off, then I can't focus on my homework. Yay, attention deficit disorder. Not diagnosed, but the older I get, the more we have a pretty good idea that I have it. Oh, the eyes of insanity right there. Probably put a black layer there. I have to put the blacks separately, or else it's going to seep in the other colors for some reason. And we don't want that. Speaking of cartoons, I was introduced to Looney Tunes in French way before in English. And I was introduced to them in two versions. The quality version and the non-quality version. Very, very no quality version. Oh, sweet. Coco is working on Inktober while she's watching me draw. Yay! Do your best. Like, I have some cartoon VHSs that are, like, more bootleg than bootleg. There's some really old Looney Tunes on it, and, like, some Max Fleischer cartoons. I have a DVD set now that have them in actual real color and everything. Not necessarily a remaster, but I can actually see what's going on in this one. Because in the VHS, like, everything is brown. Everything. Every single thing is brown. I have some Daffy Duck cartoons. I can't see what's going on at all. Like, one of the cartoons, Daffy Duck and the Dinosaur, I think it's called. You can't see the dinosaur. It's a big long neck with a tiny head, but you see nothing, so it's just a big long neck with two eyes. You can't see his mouth. It's that dark. There's another one, it's Daffy. Like, they're really old. Like, it's Happy Daffy. Daffy back when it was actually Daffy. And he's meeting a doctor that does a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing on him. And it's badly cut at the top, so you're missing most of the action and the facial features. Oh, it's, oof. It's oof. Plus, I'm pretty sure I have one of the censored 11s in that collection. I know I have it in a horribly, horrible French version. Like, it's very not good. Like, you can still hear the English original sound in the background as they speak. And I know it's somewhere. I haven't seen it for a while, but I know it's somewhere. And it's Jungle Hijinks, for those of you who are curious. And yeah, it deserves to be on the censored 11, to put it politely. As far as historically go, it's good to know about these cartoons, especially so you make sure you don't do the same thing as they used to do and learn from it. Like from an educational point of view, it's interesting. But you have to get the good lessons out of it. Like, you see what they're doing? Don't do that. Like, you see what he's doing? Don't do that. He thought he could get away with it. He was very, very wrong. And he learned a very, very hard way. On today's episode of really, really, really bad decisions. Just gonna save, gonna do some word bubbles, and then that will take a couple minutes to set up the other live stream. Then we'll talk about something else if you want. This part is also true. It was a very fancy restaurant. So of course you don't call Mr. Baldstrombody's employees prostitute. He doesn't like that. Some people just learn the hard way. There, that's done. But don't go too far, folks. Like I said, I'm going to take a couple minutes to set up the other live stream, and I'll be back soonish. I just want to save this real quick. There, saved. Like I said, I'll do the edits tomorrow and the uploads and stuff like that. But this really happened. My mammy got papped on the butt, though it was more of a spank. She purposefully spilled hot soup in his lap. And of course she told her boss what happened, and then the customer decided to be incredibly rude, and he got physically removed from the restaurant. So please be nice to your waiter / waitress. And I'll see you guys in about roughly 5 minutes. So don't go too far. You might want to reload the page, or if you're on Facebook, it's probably going to be on a different live stream because this one will be recorded. So don't go too far.